how to perform some custom validation when creating entities or different modules. So for example, if I want to create a lead here and I know all my leads need to have the same street address or the same information and description or something going on there, something that I need to validate before a lead can be created. So you have a custom field that needs to be validated, anything like that, make it really easy on your organization. You could create that custom validation logic here. I'm going to show you how to do that. Before I begin, one thing I'd like to ask is if you find this video helpful, please consider subscribing. It really does help out the channel. All right, let's get on to it. So you're going to come down here to the Setup tab in your Zoho CRM. Under the Developer Hub, you're going to go ahead and click on Functions. And as you see, I've already created a few. You're going to go on New Function. Function name, let's do it on the street for the lead. So street validation. And I need to select validation rule. All right. Okay, now that I've done that, here's some custom boilerplate info that it gives us. So let's go ahead and delete all these comments here. Get rid of the white noise. And I'll kind of explain to you what's going on. So first off, this CRM API request is essentially what you're going to receive whenever you're validating. To see exactly what that is, let me make sure to get rid of these comments as well. Let's just go ahead and log it off. And let's run it out. So you can see you're going to get the full payload of all of my information, right? Name, email, who did that. But let's then perform a little bit further validation, right? So what we're doing here is we're going to get the record. So on our instance, let's say that is the lead, okay? But that's just going to be in a different map. So we have the entity map. We're not wanting to get the email. We're wanting to get the street, right? And let's say and we want this logic to be conditional, okay? So if, and let's change this for it to kind of make sense there as well. So if street dot equals Montana, we're just going to log it off and say that's an error because Montana is not a street. You're going to do single quotes here for status, and we're going to say that's an error. And let's also add an error message to go with that. So I believe that is single quote message, Montana is not a street. And let's just say if it's everything else, it's good to go. Winner, winner. Okay. And I'll just go ahead and copy this because why start from scratch. And then we're just going to return that response. So we're going to save and close that. Oh, looks like on line 10, I forgot another parentheses. Okay, so we're ready to rock. Next thing we need to do is now associate the street validation rule with the field that we want to. So we're going to come on up here to modules. I think I scrolled a little bit too high. There we are. Modules and fields, and then we're going to go ahead and click on leads. And then as you can see here at the top, we're going to add a validation rule and create a new validation rule. And I want to use my test lead layout, and we want to apply that to the street. using a function, and I want to be able to verify and save it, and I'll show you what that means. And that's going to be the street validation rule that we just created there. I'm going to save it. So as you can see here, now we can see there's the validation. And then if we go back to the functions, I'll show you what that looks like now. So you now see there's a green banner that says associated right at the top. So let's come over to this new tab where I'm going to create a lead. Let me go ahead and refresh. You probably don't have to do this. It's force of habit. It's probably a bad force of habit since it takes my computer forever to reload, but so goes it. I'll show you what that validate and save looks like here. So we need to choose the correct layout. And remember, it's only an error if the street says it's Montana. Montana is not a street, okay? Let's see Wyoming. We all know Wyoming's another state. However, since it's not in logic, it is verified. The difference between verify and save and just verify is you could have a little bit of, whenever you hit save, it'll attempt to verify it then as well. But this is a little bit easier, a little bit cleaner. It gives you a little bit, gives the user a little bit more information as to what's going on. So let's just try typing in Montana and adding some dummy logic here and try saving. As you can see here, Montana is not a street. So it acts then, but it could be good to have both. But with all that said and done, that's how you use validation